Well, we start tonight at 5 with a break in the Baby Hope case. The newborn found murdered 31 years ago in Franklin.
This was a case that had so many questions and few answers for decades, and investigators now today announce a breakthrough. They've identified the baby's parents. Jenny Runovich shares the technology that's now bringing new answers to this very cold case.
At the Franklin gravesite, where community members named and buried an unknown infant 3 decades ago, investigators announcing new life in this cold case, finally identifying the parents of baby Hope, the newborn found murdered in a trash can. DNA technology is behind the breakthrough.
While we remain deeply saddened by the tragic and unjust loss of baby Hope, we are grateful to finally achieve some degree of closure after 31 years.
The case started here at Temple Park with an accidental and heartbreaking discovery made by 2 young boys, April 13th, 1994.
Franklin police were back at the city park.
While searching for aluminum cans, they found a baby girl less than 24 hours old, discarded in a trash can. She'd been delivered by someone with no medical training, then stabbed multiple times.
It's just so sad and sickening. How somebody could do that to somebody so precious.
A gift of love to be.
Community members named her baby Hope, raised money for a headstone and a funeral. Police pursued leads all over the country.
But no parents, no suspects, no information.
Until 2019, Franklin police reopened the investigation with new detectives and new technology. Indiana State Police and Parabon Nanolabs using public genealogy databases to identify mom and dad.
Cheryl Dawn Larson, born in 1963, was confirmed as baby Hope's biological mother.
Police say Cheryl and her then-husband, Richard N. Larson, lived near Temple Park at the time, but Richard is not the baby's biological father. Her dad, DNA confirms, is Paul Shepard, a man cooperating with police who didn't even know Cheryl was pregnant. Shepard shared a statement saying, in part, the shock of this revelation was overwhelming. Police recently let him name his child, and he chose Hope Shepard in honor of this community pursuing answers.
I know these are not 100% the answers that we wanted, but we are here today with some closure for our community.
It is only partial closure. Still no suspects or motive in baby Hope's murder. Cheryl Larson died in 2018, so her involvement is unclear. And police didn't share any additional information about Richard Larson. But they stress this case is no longer cold.
If this stimulates any information, any thoughts that you can bring forward to law enforcement to help us bring complete closure to this case, that would be the biggest closing point.
Giving hope, justice, and peace. In Franklin, Jenny Runovich, 13 News.
Right now on WTHR.com, we have linked our videos from 1994. That's when baby Hope was first discovered. And that's where you can also read the full statement that came out today from Hope's biological father.
And we're following that breaking news tonight at 5.
Right now, first responders tell 13 News that they're trying to rescue a person who is trapped in a grain bin. So let's give you a live look at the situation as that effort is underway right now at this hour east of Indianapolis in Hancock County in Greenfield. We have just learned that they were able to safely rescue the person who was trapped inside. You know, this can be a very, very scary and difficult, dangerous situation. First responders first got the call just before 4 o'clock today.
Now, since then, Hancock County Technical Rescue Team has responded, as well as the Buck Creek Fire Department. Now, the Greenfield Wastewater Team is also there. They brought their vacuum truck. Again, that person has been rescued. Developing tonight, a 19-year-old man is under arrest facing 2 preliminary counts of murder in the deadly shootings of a 12-year-old and his 24-year-old brother.
Their mom shared some pictures with us. We have here 12-year-old Izzy Offit and 24-year-old Waylon Coe. She said she didn't know anything had happened to them until she woke up on Saturday morning because she wanted to get Izzy ready because he was going on a trip to Kings Island, and that's when she noticed he wasn't home.
So the shooting happened around 4 o'clock Saturday morning on West 38th Street near Georgetown Road. That's where the officers found the brothers in critical condition inside a car. First responders then got them to the hospital where they passed away from their injuries.
Sadly, that shooting not the only one in our community over this past weekend. In fact, tonight, Metro Police are investigating another deadly weekend of gun violence across our city.
Ashton Hackman breaks down the numbers of different shootings and has reaction from the police chief.
Well, unfortunately, the plea for peace from both IMPD and community leaders didn't seem to resonate this weekend. It's now the fourth in a row plagued by gun violence.
It's a map that's become a far too common Monday sight, locators showing the extent of the gun violence during a weekend in Indianapolis. From Friday to Sunday, 12 people were shot, 6 of them died. 3 of those victims were younger than 16. The youngest was just 2 years old. Senseless violence, IMPD Chief Chris Bailey was so vocally against on Friday and again today.
Have a peaceful heart. You don't have to solve your issues with weapons, whether it's gun or otherwise. We have to enforce the law. We will enforce the law, and whether it's downtown or our neighborhoods, to keep our community safe.
It's not just families and police dealing with the aftermath of this tragic gun violence. Ahead at 6, you'll hear from the Marion County coroner, whose office is in charge of conducting all of the autopsies on these victims. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
The Indianapolis FOP president now continuing to be very vocal about the violence that we've seen around Indianapolis. It's frustrating for police officers, too. You might recall we did hear from him back on Friday. That's when he had an open letter written to the city. And in that, the key point was to call on parents to set a good example for their young people. Now that president, Rick Snyder, is calling out politicians again, saying in part, quote, "It is apparent that Indianapolis leaders are stuck in the very corner they constructed with misguided policies and agendas. As of now, we see nothing but paralysis by politics. It's time for the Indiana legislature and governor to step in. Call us. We have solutions."
Turning to weather, it has been a hot and humid Monday.
Yes.
Angela's here tracking it and says the week is kind of going to trend that way.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if you counted how many times we said hot, humid, stormy.
Yeah, I've been looking
in the
at
next couple weeks, and the last couple weeks for that matter.
Yeah, the descriptors were running out.
Yes, it is summertime in central Indiana. The high heat, high humidity, and those storm chances will continue. A bit of a break in terms of temperatures. We were in the upper 80s, near 90, both Saturday and Sunday. Right now, temperatures in the low to mid 80s. We have 84 in Indianapolis, 85 Brown County, 85 Crawfordsville, and 85 degrees in Bunker Hill. Dew point temperatures sitting in the upper 60s and low 70s, so we are in that uncomfortable range, not necessarily miserable range, but that's going to change as we look ahead. In fact, that muggy meter, we're going to be tracking it going up above that miserable line. We have lots of heat, lots of high humidity in the forecast over the next couple of days. Not a lot to show you on radar, so mainly dry evening, partly cloudy, warm. We'll stick with temperatures in the low to mid 80s, and then tomorrow, chance for a few more storms, highs 85 to 90.
All right, thanks so much. We do want a good forecast as we have a lot of guests coming to town all across Indianapolis. People are getting very excited for this weekend, WNBA All-Star Weekend.
And Indianapolis, Mother Nature, we want to put our best foot forward. So tonight we're getting a look at how the city is preparing to keep everyone safe. Our Anna Chalker joins us live from Gamebridge Fieldhouse with a look at what's being done to achieve that goal. Hey, Anna.
Hey there, ladies. Gamebridge Fieldhouse. This is going to be home court this weekend. This is where all of the main games and events will be going on. But city leaders say, you know, there are going to be thousands more throughout the city just really enjoying the environment of All-Star Weekend. So let's show you a map of everything going on, because we know there is a lot going on with a lot of closures. So the map that you see on your screen, a lot of closures, like we said, but the main hot spots, both for temperature and how many people will be there, that's going to be Gamebridge Fieldhouse, the Convention Center, the Circle, and Everwise Amphitheater. And IMPD says they will have extra patrols downtown to control all of this traffic and help keep everyone safe. So if you're coming to Gamebridge for any of the games, you can expect most security to be the same as what you would see at a Fever or a Pacer game. but there will be soft ticketing checkpoints like what we saw at the NBA Finals games. And many of these events this weekend will be outside, and that's why IMPD says they will be working with state and federal partners to make sure there are extra eyes out there.
IMPD will use our mobile trailer cameras, our public safety cameras to monitor things throughout downtown, and the department's real-time crime center will be fully staffed with detectives and analysts to keep a close watch and respond quickly to any potential concerns.
To keep up with any public safety announcement, you can text All-Star 25 to 67283. And if you're planning on heading downtown for All-Star or Black Expo this weekend, because we know that's going on at the same time, we have this map that I showed you a moment ago on our website right now so you can keep up with when things will be closed. Some of these closures starting as early as Wednesday. Just want to be aware of that. So you can check out that right now at WTHR.com. Ladies.
All right, Anna, thank you so much. And you can take a look at all the events happening around the area for the WNBA All-Star Game. Like she said, that map is on our website.
And we can get you there quickly if you scan this QR code. That'll take you to WTHR.com/SeenOn13 where you'll find this story. There are a lot of events. We don't want you to miss any of them because it overlaps with a very key event for our community, the 54th Annual Summer Celebration. It gets underway this week, too.
Yeah, clearly we're celebrating. The Indiana Black Expo has partnered with the WNBA All-Star organizers since both groups will be hosting big events all weekend long and just bringing lots of people to Indy.
I'm so excited about what this weekend is about to bring to our community in the state of Indiana. So please.
Alice Watson right there. She is the Indiana Black Expo president and CEO. And she briefly spoke to the crowd gathered at the Indiana Convention Center this morning for the annual Mayor's Breakfast.
That's the official kickoff to the business conference. It's a 2-day event running today and tomorrow. Jalea Brooks there serving as one of the breakfast MCs today, looking all bright and shiny up there, welcoming everybody to the Mayor's Breakfast.
And you can check out all the events happening on our website. That's WTHR.com.